police, they had National Guard on the rooftop. And I know if it happened, they're the ones going to do it, right? But I went anyway. I went anyway to the funeral. I'm thinking about, wow, man. So now let's take it past that. Malcolm X was in the Island Ballroom. You saw all the pictures. He was up on the stage speaking. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And somebody released a stink bomb in the back. You know about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while the people was running and hollering and screaming, people with their children and stuff, these black men rushed up to the stage, right? They was on the floor. Malcolm was up on the stage, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And they shoot him. And the next thing you see is Malcolm's on the floor and you see this black man giving him the mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we find out the black man is a New York undercover agent. So undercover, his paycheck comes from the New York utilities companies, right? Now, what does that mean? It means this. When you shot in the chest, you don't give mouth to mouth because you die from air bubbles in the lung. So if you look at Malcolm's autopsy and Lee Harvey Oswald's autopsy, they both died from the same thing, air bubbles in the lung. Or they shoot you in the chest and they have somebody run up there that look like a good Samaritan. Okay, so now it goes on and it goes on. So then find out that Malcolm's whole mindset changed. And you know the beautiful thing about the innocence of people, when Malcolm was assassinated, everybody around the world was told by NBC, CBS, ABC, FBI, okay, everybody, that it was the Nation of Islam, right?
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother don't know nothing about no Nation of Islam except she see them on the corner. They're very clean. They're very neat. You never hear them cuss. As much as white America hated them, none of them was ever been busted for drugs. They never found drugs in the mosque or nothing like that, right? And so there was a whole game. It's like Tiger Woods. And black folks, old black folks loved him. Why? He went to Stanford. They didn't know he never graduated from Stanford, right? He wasn't too dark for them. Do I need to repeat that twice? Huh?
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
They didn't know nothing about if you was turning the channel and saw golf, you just kept turning, right?
Right.
All right. So now the black folks was coming up here so fast from the South that they didn't have enough time to build churches. They didn't have the money, right? So what the churches did, they started having 3 services. One at 9, one at 11 o'clock, right? Well, that's the original one. Do you know black folks would not go to no service but the 11 o'clock service because they say God wasn't at them other ones, right? Then here come Tiger Woods, right? so what time do the golf start? Sunday, 12 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't go to church and be there. Them black folks are going to the 7 o'clock service, man. So they can see their man. Okay. Now, watch this. When Tiger Woods started getting sick and missing games, right? And it looked like he wasn't going to play no more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the crowd at all your major golf decreased by 50%? Did you know that?
Wow.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
And here's the reason. 50% of all the white folks that went to the golf tournament, 50% went there so they could be there to see him lose, okay?
Wow.
So if he's not playing, they don't have to go. Okay, now, watch this and I'll get back to Malcolm. Watch this now. So he had to win 4 more games to tie, what's his name? The white boy.
Jack Nicklaus?
Jack Nicklaus. He had to win 5 more to be the number 1 all-time champ, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the whooping was about. That was a mob whooping. I know somebody that knows somebody at the hospital they brought him to, right? And one of my research get a call and they passed the word off to me that if I came down there tonight and they carried me into his room, if they didn't tell me, okay, he was Tiger Woods, I wouldn't have known him. He was beat unrecognizable. That was a mob whooping, okay?
Wow.
All right?
Wow.
Now, all the stuff started coming out, right? All the stuff started coming out. Everything. All the women. Well, the one woman and you know how long it was set up because the woman he married, his wife, what's the guys that hang with you, your caddy, right?
Yeah.
He was the caddy's white girlfriend, the white woman Tiger met, right? So you see how long that plot was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now the one white girl he had to Sweden to see him play, right? She was underage, right? So there's a law that's on the books, but not supposed to be on the books, and I'll explain that, why I'm saying that. She was underage, so there's a law called white slavery law, right? You aware of that?
No.
Teenager across state lines for immoral.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
They passed that over 100 years ago to shut down Jack Johnson, the greatest boxer that ever lived, right? Heavyweight, okay? And one of the senators said, well, this don't fit him because that's his wife. He said, any white woman that would have sex with a nigger is a hoe. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's follow this now. So they bust him on that, and he was arrogant, man. They couldn't do nothing less than just kill him. He flaunted them, you know. It's my woman, my wife. Tell me what to do, right? And so he's in jail, and after that, almost 70-some years, they didn't let another Negro become heavyweight champ of the world. And when Joe Louis became heavyweight champ, there was a deal made. The first 20 fights you have, this white group will split 50-50. You have nothing to say about it. If you don't do it, the world will never hear of you, okay? And if you win, they know he's a win. All they got to do is throw fights for him, huh? And he don't even have to know it, right? And so, and if you win, you can never throw your hands up in the air, right? Because we think it would cause a riot in the stadium. So if you look at the footage, they didn't have TV then. You would see after the fight, all he would say is, "Hi, Mama, this. I thank God I win. I had another lucky day." That's all he would say. Okay.
Wow.
Then a movie came out called King Kong. Did you see it?
Yeah.
A gorilla with a white lady. What city was it? In New York or Chicago?
I think it was New York.
Right. Okay. Why was it New York? Because it was the story of Jack Johnson and the white lady. Did you ever ask yourself, man, why would a gorilla be in New York? Ain't no trees and Lord, ain't no bananas.
Yeah.
What's in New York? The symbol, Madison Square Garden, the boxing capital of the world. Okay, see how it works? See how it works? So that law is still on the books. Now, I'm not telling you this from proof. I don't need no proof on this. I know about the whooping. I didn't let them send me the pictures because it's a federal law to have somebody else's hospital records, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all at once now, I know the deal they must have made with him. So underage girl you took, well, we're going to give you 5 to 10 years in jail. So your golf shit's over anyway, huh? Nah, if you want to beat that, we'll have an open investigation, huh? and you play for a little while longer, and then you hurt your leg or hurt your back or hurt your arm, and then you shut the stuff down. We happy, you happy, okay?
Yeah.
That's where that goes, okay? And now consequently, we'll get back to Malcolm, and so all that was woven in there. So Malcolm ends up. The beautiful thing is, man, I'm 83 years old, man. I know black folks would never be a Muslim, in life, but I've never seen a race of people stop eating a certain food because of a Muslim. I know black folks stop eating pork, okay? Because of the Muslim, the teachings, the whole thing, man. Would never be a Muslim if their life depended on it. But they
stop eating pork. Right.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Stop eating pork. And now you go in the restaurant and say, I like such and such. So, you know, got a little pork in it. That's the owner tell you that, huh? That's the power that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had, huh? Okay? And so I had my cousin, was a Muslim, born into it. And I said to him, I said, hey, man, Merry Christmas. He said, I ain't no Merry Christmas. I don't believe in no whitey Christmas holiday. I said, brother, let me tell you something. If Christmas come on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and your bank is closed, you believe in it. Okay. And I said, now, I'm going to take you to my Black Baptist church, right? My Black Baptist church. And you're going to see this black preacher standing there, and right behind him, you're going to see a white Jesus, right? Now, I'll go to your temple. I'll see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad standing there, and right behind him, I see the white boy named Farad. That's the same symbol. Okay. What you lawyer? It's the same symbol, huh? And so, consequently, if you got an old black woman, old black man, running down the street from some thugs, and they see a cop on the corner over there, and they see a pimp over there, and a Muslim standing there with the newspaper, they'll run to him because they know they're safe, huh? Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, that was deep, yeah.
Okay, they'd run to him because they know while they standing there, they're not going to hear no cussing, They're not going to see no dope deals being made at the bus stop, huh? Now, so when the thing happened and they swore it was the Nation of Islam, not one Nation of Islam had to get off the corner the day he was killed or any time after, because there's something in black folks' spirit. They know they was lying. They didn't know nothing else. They know those folks that I see did not do that. Huh? Now let's go back to the Ottoman ballroom. The brother that was mouth to mouth, he's CIA agent now. Okay, and so now, we find out that the federal government has the autopsies on Malcolm X. Well, hey, wait a minute, hold it. Come on, y'all. That wasn't a federal crime. It wasn't robbing a bank. Why y'all doing the autopsy? So I hit some of my strings. When they sent a Chicago Tribune front page story, me and who was pictured on the front page, headlines, use mob to kill Dick Gregory. Okay, that's this viciousness. That black folks and white folks just walk down the street and think you living in such a wonderful place, you're going to be woke up to a rude awakening, huh? The problem wasn't that he sent the message. The problem was I got to tell Expo Johnson, the head of the FBI in Chicago, got it. Okay.
Wow.
Now, wait a minute. And what's worse than that, when the Chicago Tribune did a front page story, New York Times, okay, the Chicago Sun, LA Times, no other paper ran that story. Come on, y'all. If it would have been the opposite, that they intercepted, well, I had some hit people to wipe out who, it would have been in every paper, even in funny books, been in children's little readers, huh? So I know how filthy this country is. You all out there listening don't know. That's how Hitler took over. That's how Hitler took over. And I don't carry no gun. Huh? I'm listed in the phone book. Huh? My children growing up getting those nasty letters. I didn't know when they was going to plant drugs on them or send them up or kill them. I remember an agent told me, he said, you're not worried about us killing you? If I thought the God I prayed to couldn't protect me against y'all's filth or the filth of America, I'd help y'all pull the trigger, man. Okay? You see, I know that we were sent here to heal the nation, not by Mount Sinai Hospital, by the same God. See, there's different than the God in a church. I love church, man. I go by there. Wow. And I tell the world the strongest two forces in the history of America is the black woman and the black church. And we black men. In order for you to get me, who do you call? My agent or who?
Your wife.
No, my wife. I know who the black woman is.
Mm-hmm.
I know who the black woman is. Do you know a black woman in America is the only woman in the history of the planet that can take a butter knife and cut your ties to the rim?
Right, you told me that before. Right.
You hear me?
Yeah.
See, nobody else can do it, right? That's her. We don't even see that, huh? We don't even see who she is, right? And so consequently, we sit here to heal. Huh? We are lightness. Huh? We light. The evil, corrupt folks, they dark. They represent the moon. We represent the sun. Huh? But when lightness becomes scared of darkness, real simple. We leave the show tonight and we go to a little rural area outside of New York City. And there's a building 10 times bigger than a football field. And it's nighttime. And we open up the door and it's pitch black in there. But there's 2 million rats in there and 4 million roaches. All we got to do is turn the light on and they'll haul ass, right?
Right.
That's the power of light, huh? If the 12 o'clock noon lasted 1/10 billion of a second longer, everything on planet Earth would be wiped out, okay? That's the power of light, huh? And then we got nerve enough that they'll reduce us down to a pimp mentality, huh? In a nasty country that have good schools and bad schools. Did you hear what I just said? Have you ever heard of a good Pepsi Cola or bad Pepsi Cola?
No.
They say, man, don't go to that bar because they don't know how to make a good rum and coke. They don't know how to make a good Mai Tai, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I live in a country and then duped to believe like white folks at Harvard and Yale are good schools. Real rich, powerful people wouldn't send a rat to Harvard or Yale, okay? So just ask you a simple ghetto question. If your daughter went to Harvard Medical School, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter went to Ole Miss Medical School, which one around the world got the better degree?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You believe that Mississippi's medical degree is as powerful as Harvard's? Are you serious, huh? You don't know that. Mississippi?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many Nobel Prize people have they had on the staff in Mississippi compared to Harvard, huh?
Yes, they can't compare, yes.
Huh?
Yeah, they can't compare to Harvard.
Okay. So now what I'm saying is, if me and you go to Harvard tonight and just ask for change for $1, but we want it in dimes, how many dimes they give us?
10 dimes.
We go to Ole Miss tonight and ask for change for $1, we want it in dimes. How many dimes they give us?
understand.
Okay, I live in a system that has more unification with changing my damn dollar than dealing with my mind through education, huh? That's America. Oh, yeah, John got this job, and he works there and got his children going to good schools. My other brother, they go to bad schools. Something wrong with that? Huh? So-and-so Catholic school is a good school. So-and-so is a bad school. But is that the same folks that's ripping off them little boys' booty? Huh? That's what you telling me? $1 trillion industry, but yet the Baptist church, huh? They got little gays in there, but they're not ripping off. I don't have to worry about my children. And see, a pedophile is one thing. A pedophile priest is something else. Why? A pedophile can get to your child, huh? But you didn't send them to them, huh? I sent my children to the Catholic Church, huh?
Right.
Okay? And so when you sit and you look at where this is, for those of you all that's listening, when you do listening to the show, go to your computer and put this date in, February the 2nd, 2013. February the 2nd, 2013. And punch up Vatican, the Bank of Italy suspended all Vatican credit cards, okay? You didn't see that in the New York Times or Washington Post.
Say that one more time to the people.
Go punch up on your computer, Google February the 2nd. You don't have to write it down. I mean, that's Groundhog Day, okay? February the 2nd, 2013. Huh? The Bank of Italy, the big bank, suspended all Vatican credit cards around the world. Why? They was laundering money, dealing in drug money, trafficking little boys and girls, okay? All right? And then who came in to pick up the slack? Swiss Bank. The Swiss don't have no guns. They don't carry no guns. Okay? And you'll see that. And so this is what this is about. And so now we look at Malcolm, the autopsies, and all the bullets in Malcolm is going down. Not for the black folks to be on the floor shooting up, huh? That means you don't need no research. That means they gave them thugs blanks because they didn't believe that a black person would kill Malcolm. So they didn't take a chance. Okay? So now I didn't release it through the book because I didn't want them thugs to get out of jail. You know, they in jail for the murder or being involved in killing Malcolm. I didn't want them to get out of jail. Let them stay there. Let them rot. Now, if they was getting electric chair, I would have released it because I don't believe there's anything you can do that deserves the state to kill you. If my mama's telling me stealing is wrong and I see her steal every day, something ain't right about that.
Right.
There's something different when the state kills you and then tell you killing is wrong. And so consequently now follow this now. So now we know that Malcolm was shot. Then we realized later through research that the CIA had rented the Ottoman Ballroom 2 weeks before Malcolm was assassinated. That's when they cut the holes and put everything. They even took pictures of that. So that's what we're talking about. This country. And what we don't know, if you live with filth, you become filthy. You pass by a paper mill. Most of you never pass by. There is no stink like a paper mill. And yet the people work there don't smell it. So we the same thing. We live in America with this filthy nation. We live just so long, we don't smell it. Okay? And so that's what, that's not, we get back now to Malcolm. Now here's the wild part about Malcolm. Malcolm went to Nairobi and he met a guy. Probably he knew him, but he met him. DePinto, who was editor of the Pan-African magazine, probably the brilliant black book on the planet. And he and Malcolm, they were together for 18 weeks. So Malcolm came back and they made a deal that on such and such a day they would meet up in New York and take racism to the doorsteps of the United Nations. All right? And then talk about criminal charges. Okay? The morning that they assassinated Malcolm in New York, they also assassinated DePinto at the same time in Nairobi. Okay?
Wow.
Okay? And so when you get back to Al, now I wouldn't be talking like this had Al not admitted in that article. You know, I used to wear a wiretap, huh? And so that's what you hear now. And Brian Allen, huh? Most folks had never heard of him, huh? He's had a show in L.A., black show, for 30 years, man. And here's some punk comes up with, now, when you look at Al Sharpton, he is probably the most powerful black man in America. Why? 1 hour every day TV show. 3 hours every day radio show. And so we can't deny that. My grandmother, she's alive, she'd love me. Why wouldn't she? Huh? Why wouldn't she? And white folks found out when he ran for president how witty and clever he was and everything. And he don't think he's not holding his own on that radio, on that TV show. One time there's a black issue with women, he gets more white women. There's some team with a black woman on the show, but what do you expect? And so that's how. And that's and that's why if you go to jail, molested or raped, you got to register for the rest of your life. You say you're not clean, you got to register for the rest of your life. The weird thing about, if you urinate in the street, I think all but 2 states in America, and you get arrested, you have to register as a sex offender. You know what I mean? People got to pee real bad, and well, you mean women don't have to pee real bad? You see them pull their pants down and squat. And so that's what the trail that's behind it. Now, before any of y'all, drop this in your computer box, punch up New York Post. They did a 5-page series on Al and said, okay, that he wears a wiretap for the government. Then Al, the interview with him, he said, I used to. Well, this ain't moved. And so Brian Allen comes through. And a whole lot of people listening wasn't born when he did that. So I said, you got to look at it and see. And how do I feel about Al? Well, I know if I was living in Mississippi and something happened, I'd call Al or I'd call the FBI on certain cases. But that's what it is. Is he still doing it? I don't know. I could find out if I wanted to. But my thing is, once the taint is there, it's there. And so in answer to your question, that's,
Wow. Now, just to switch topics.
Before you do that, let me tell you something. And you'd have to do this, too, because this is the most outrageous thing. saying, I'm sure I told you this on the show, but y'all can pull it. In Ferguson, I go into Ferguson. I see Martin Luther King. I see people there. And there's gonna be a big rally. I say, y'all better get out of here, man. This is a trick. This ain't real. And then I find out the cop that was blamed wasn't the cop. They switched cops. Okay. Well, then you know the brother that was with him that had his hands in there. He had his hands in there. And then 3 days later, a researcher called me and said, man, you know Johnson, you know, he's in federal FBI protection. What? That's not a federal crime. What does he know? So then we go to the day of the killing. He walked out the cigar store. You remember that? Who am I talking to? Are you there?
Yeah, man.
I asked you. You see the pictures where he walked out the cigar store?
No, I didn't see that. No.
You didn't see the pictures where they claim he stole the cigars?
Oh, yeah. The video. Yeah.
Well, you reading something or not? I can hang up. We can do this later. I don't want to waste my time. Because you got thousands of people listening to you. And I'm telling you this, walking you through it, so you can pull it up and tell them. I don't know them. They know you. They tune you in, okay?
Right.
So I'm asking you, did you? Because I don't know, the government might have cut the line. That's why I keep saying every now and then, I ask you something and I expect you to answer. You don't have to. But my wife know anytime you call, she'll run me down. Anyone will say, hey, but you know the guy you like to women in New York and he wants you on that's on Sunday. Huh? Okay? That's how important you are, because there's people listening to you who over the times have seen something you said in the New York Times. And especially you got a big black audience. They love it. That's why when I do my stuff, I say, here, pull it up on the, because it's long, if they Google and see it, it's more valid than a Negro saying it. I don't want to debate that. Okay. And so all I asked you was, did you see? I didn't assume you saw him. Did you see him when he was walking out of the cigar store?
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that, when I talk to you, I'm talking to your listeners. Google that picture. He got on flip-flops and short pants. 15 minutes later, he landed out there dead. He got on Nike tennis and long pants. I think that's some important information, right?
Definitely.
Okay? Now, they got all the demonstrations all over the world happened. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Except Africa. So I said on the radio show, I said, I wonder what racist people is putting the money behind these demonstrations, and Africa wasn't even in their sphere, huh? Not one demonstration under and all of that, huh? And now we find out that I can't think of the billionaire Greek, big time Democrat. Now the Washington Post read a story that he was the one that was funding those demonstrations around the world. Now on that Thursday night, when they released the grand jury's results, remember? 8 o'clock. Say, wait. We've been demonstrating. They've been having demonstrating every day in Ferguson, and there's never been a riot in the daytime. So why are you going to wait and release this at night? Because those riots was promoted, huh? Okay. And if you look at the riot that night, it's black people running out the liquor store with a half pint. I said, wait a minute, half pint? Man, you didn't even get no chips? I mean, what kind of ride is this, or is this planned and made up, huh? Now, when you go back and look at the DA, look at his speech, when he said that there's some African American people from the community that said that he didn't have his hands up. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
What they didn't tell you is the guy told him that was his sidekick, the one that told the world he had his hands up, okay? Did you hear me?
Yeah.
So if I'm 70-year-old black man, not big, just average American, and I'm on that grand jury, and I hear him say it, why wouldn't I vote against? Here's the man that said in front of the grand, he lied. Now, his best friend was murdered that night in Ferguson, 2 blocks from where the crime is. They got hundreds of FBI agents, state troopers, National Guard, police we ain't never heard of. Who would be foolish enough to attempt to kill somebody with that type of hardware that close on less than this film? Huh? Okay? New York Times never ran the story. The Washington Post ran it 2 weeks later. And out of all the stuff I read about lynching, you could compare that to where they said he was beaten, shot up, killed, and then threw in the car, and the car set on fire and burned. Okay? And if we looked at I think the little guy's name was Rice, the 12-year-old that the cop killed in Cleveland. Remember that?
Tamir Rice.
Okay. Did you see that on TV?
Yeah.
All right. Did you see before the cop got there, he was playing in the park with the play gun? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's not important. Go back and look at it again. It's showing the top of his head and the tops of the roof. That's coming from a satellite. Huh? Go back and look at it again. He's playing. Did you see when the police car pulled up?
Yeah.
Do you know any white cop is going to be told a Negro with a gun and only one car going to show up, not 50, huh?
Right. That's true.
Okay? So they do it right under your eyes. We see it because they saying it. We don't question it. Who owns a satellite, huh? But the government, huh? And then all at once, all the stuff gets stripped away. No charges being filed. When you mentioned Eric Holder, I got so much information, I thought you was going to ask me about something else. When he resigned, huh? Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, now, if you are the Attorney General of the United States, and now a new group of people come in, normally you shouldn't be responsible for what happened under the others, right?
Right, yeah.
But you have to, that come to you for the records, right? The Attorney General records didn't leave with the Attorney General who you replaced, right? So they're bringing Eric Holder out there, asking him about the gun dealing that was made from here to Mexico. I can't think of what they call it.
Fast and Furious?
Huh?
With the Fast and Furious? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
So now that's his baby, right? I just can't go to the Justice Department and get some stuff somebody else did. I got to go through you, right? You're not blamed for it, but I got to go through you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now remember, we woke up one morning, Sunday, and the congressman lady in Arizona was shot.
Right.
And ended up paralyzed and speech affected, right? But you know, somebody else died that day, remember? A federal judge, remember?
The judge, yeah, you told me that last time, yeah.
Okay, well, just more than tell you, he was running fast and furious. He was the federal judge overseeing that. So that's who they was after in the first place, huh? In the first place. And then what happened? The federal judge here, black guy, said to the Attorney General, on October the 2nd, I want you to have these papers in here that we're looking for. the 24th of October. And it ain't going to happen to me what happened to a judge, so-and-so. Not the only way I get out of it, I resign. He didn't do nothing, but he's the overseer of it. So that's what goes on. Huh? That's what goes on. And the last thing before I let you give me your last view. Oh, we too late. I've gone over.
Say that again?
Yeah, I'm asking. Is my time up?
Oh, no. I just got a few more questions, about 2-3 more.
Okay, well, let me say this here. Yeah. Also, look up 3 weeks before this Christmas, this Christmas, that just passed.
Mm-hmm.
And Sears and Roebuck had to apologize to the Jewish community. Did you ever see that?
No. What happened?
They had the little Christmas packages, right, out. And one of them was a ring for the index finger. And it had a swastika on it.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
You know about that?
Wow, yeah, I heard something. Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
But you haven't seen one Jewish person mention it. The Anti-Defamation League haven't mentioned it.
So why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Evidently, they put the guns. See, black folks believe the Jews is in charge. Jews have never been in charge, okay? All right? They're in charge of us because we don't.
So who's, like, really in charge of all this shit?
The secret, rich white folks that run the whole world through white supremacy, not through no damn Ku Klux Klan. Huh? Them cats can't even read or write. None of them been to college, and you think they going to determine public policy? That shows you the mentality of us and the white folks that fall for that crap, okay? All right? Now, the Monday before Christmas, Walgreens drugstore had to apologize for the Jews because the Hanukkah wrapping paper they used, a woman bought it, Walgreens, and was looking at it, and then the patterns is laced with swastikas. They had to apologize, and the Jews haven't said a word. And one of the most powerful politicians in the history of the planet, local, the Sullivan, the Jewish cat they busted in New York. Okay? And they said, we don't know how he can get a trial, prosecuted, because 90% of the judges in New York had to go through him. Okay? But you haven't heard no powerful Jew sit down. And that all that mess over there in Paris, huh? Where everybody came in to demonstrate, right? About the magazine. That was a Jewish thing, man. The French government is more anti-Semitic, right? And Hitler and the Nazis was, huh? But don't nobody want to talk about it, huh? And so, again, I'm saying that somewhere, you can't change nothing. If I'm coughing, if I got a headache and just think it's a headache and don't know it's a brain tumor, then I'm getting ready for death. So that's where we heading. Now, what was the questions you had asked?
What's going on with? I was reading on the internet the other day, and I was reading, and they was talking about how these NASA scientists keep coming up dead, and I think that the tally is up to about 74 dead scientists in 2 years.
Let me do this here. This week, there were not NASA scientists, but there was top scientists, researchers, 270 had just disappeared, murdered, blah, 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 blah. And the last one was the one from Harvard that was in Memphis for a conference, and they found him dead. And then they blamed it on a black woman, a black woman, that she did robbery. And all at once, it can't be no trial because her car went into a bridge down there, and she burned to death. This didn't just start happening, huh? This didn't just so happen. Now, put a pin right there, and remember the Bin Laden Navy SEAL killing. If they did that, my mama did it, right? You remember 6 Navy SEALs that went up to his room and got the credit for being the one that killed him in the
right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like 24 together in the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
All 24 of them a day, and the 6th was killed here in America. Say helicopter crash, and the other one was on the rifle range where a Navy SEAL slipped and accidentally shot him in the head. Okay. Now you're not taking my word for it. There was even a congressman that said we need to have an investigation on that, and I didn't hear it no more. Google that and punch it up. The marathon fiasco in Boston.
Yeah.
The mayor, the governor of Boston, a black man, right?
Mm-hmm.
The vote. And somebody just asked him, Governor, when did you hear about it? He said, my daughter called me. Wow. What? I mean, here's a man that's over the state police. They got state police guarding him 24 hours a day, and none of them told him. His daughter heard it on TV. I said, Dad, you hear about what happened? He said, no, what? Huh? Oh? So then they sent the 2 FBI agents in to coordinate the whole investigation. In other words, you couldn't talk to the cops, you couldn't talk to the press. If you was a mayor or police chief in a little town, it had to go through them. About a month after they got back, both of them were dead. They said they fell out of a helicopter in Norfolk, Virginia, training exercise. Okay? And so when you stop and think about, what you said, they do them all. Have you heard about the Malaysian airline plane that went missing?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be little, I know you that, but have you heard about some of the scientists that was on that plane?
Yeah.
Sending pictures back?
Right. I think you told me about that. I'm not sure.
About didn't tell you. I knew it, but I didn't tell you. Shoved the camera up his butt? That's the one you talking about?
No. What's what you talking about now? I didn't hear that.
I'm talking about the Malaysian plane. I'm just telling you where they are technology. Huh? And when you get through, Google it. Huh?
Yeah.
And everybody in the world who's hip with research know about that. Huh? All I'm saying about that one is where they are with technology. Huh? 20 scientists on that plane. I was 4 of them before the plane trip. 4 of them had filed for patents, and the patents is worth $800 billion. Huh? And so me and my brother and you and your brother filed for patent. Okay? And then your sister's husband joined the patent. That's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me and my brother, you and your brother was on that plane. The patent wasn't cleared until 4 days after the plane was missing. So by law, we don't have no part of that. Your sister's brother had it. You know who was the 5th person on them? The Carlisle group.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And they do stuff that would make Hitler blush. So that's how it go down. And so that don't surprise me what you said, because I followed the other ones. And see, Americans are so busy being good Americans, they don't know. You see, let me ask you something. I'm just gonna play a little game with you, okay? And I'm gonna swear you in, okay? So, would you be willing to die for your country? And what's your answer? Yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's okay for me to kill you after this is fine. Because we don't want you sitting around somewhere drunk. Talking.
Yeah.
And during World War II, they used to say, a slip of the lip can sink a ship.
Slip of the lip. Wow.
Yeah, so the other question was what?
Yeah, there's been a lot of reports I guess, started last week. I think it's the Guardian newspaper. It's over in Chicago. They're talking about
they've been doing that. They're doing that.
Yeah, Holman Square, a local detention center facility. Yeah.
Did they also tell you that the cop that was head of that, the government put him head of the Navy base in Cuba? He's the one that showed them how to do that, and then after it was over, they sent him back to Chicago. He's back at it again. But the Chicago Tribune didn't print it.
No.
NBC News didn't print it, huh?
No.
Democracy Now! Ran the whole story, interviewed him. He said he still can't understand. Okay.
Wow. Yes. And last thing before I know you're a busy man, brother. What do you think? There's been a lot of criticism about President Obama. Rudy Giuliani saying he doesn't love America.
Hey, wait my time now. That's just racist ass white folks. Okay? And you know how what kind of thug he got to be. Right? His children hate him, right? When that gay thing came out on him with the police chief, huh? Okay? All right. So you know he must be in with the boys. Nobody mentioned that, huh? Police chief just got out of jail last year about beating up some woman, huh?
Well, Bernard Curry, right?
Yes. So that ain't even worth dealing with. They say everything they won't say about the president never gonna happen to him. Something happened to him.
But my question was going to be, what do you think about all the slack he got from his comments on Christianity? He was talking about Christianity's ugly past, and we shouldn't be so judgmental, I guess, on Islam.
Well, if Bush would have said it, nothing happened. So again, sometimes y'all black folks forget a period. He's black, and you want to review him with the other. Are you crazy? Huh? Y'all crazy? All this stuff that happened. When have you ever heard? I hit my phone on. Am I still on?
Yeah.
When have you ever heard a governor like that wench out there in Arizona shook her finger in his face? Come on, man. And you let these white folk believe this is normal? Huh? It's not normal. Okay? You go to New York City when the weather breaks and go to traffic court and then ask yourself, why is 90% of everybody in there to 98% in traffic court that they black, huh? Do we black folks do that much speeding than white folks? And if you believe it, then just take a day off and drive down the street and see how many black folks you see passing white folks. Okay? Then that's the problem that happens to our head. See, the Klan didn't tell me that Santa Claus was white. My mother told me that, huh? The Klan didn't tell me that when you're out in the street in the evening, son, be careful with white racist cops. So they pull you over, behave. Anytime you, and I'm telling you this as a father that had 3 children, anytime you tell a child of yours to respect filth, respect somebody that murdered you, it goes past that and it goes up to the universal God. That's my child I put together. And you're going to teach that child to respect filth. All right, I'll deal with you when you get here. You know how stupid and ungodly and unspiritual you got to be to tell us, don't tell me about this love bullshit. Most white folks I know would tell the cop, that's my boy, don't mess with him. If you do, you're in trouble. But you going to tell your son, who you see every day, you see that cute little smile, you talk to him, and you're going to tell him there's some folks out there that will kill you, son. So behave. You didn't tell him to run. Behave. So I know what they think. Run. Didn't run. And I know what the problem is. The black folks, we're the only group of people in the history of the planet that went through what we went through and opt for education over liberation. Every black person I know was never liberated. We're educated. That's why Black men or black women don't know this, and most white folks don't know this. I come to New York and go to a meeting. Not all, but if I come there every day to meet with these powerful rich folk giving them the contract, some white man going to whisper in my ear, are you staying out of trouble? Is your mama staying out of trouble? Do you go into the mob neighborhood and ask them are they staying out of trouble? And we black folks accept it, okay? I'm talking about PhDs, education, wrote books. Are you staying out of trouble? You do that when you've never been liberated. George Washington was not beating up the British for the right to build a college. The song do not say, give me education. It says, give me liberation, huh? Except us. Me and you can be driving down the street tonight after the show, and we got some brothers, some sisters on the show. One got 3 PhDs, the other got 5. They're worth about $20 million. He's driving or she's driving. You hear a cop call siren, and she squeezed the steering wheel. He squeezed the steering wheel. Didn't know they was doing it. It's in the brain. It's in your makeup. It's in the chemical thing, huh? And then when that cop car passed you by, you say, thank God. Don't thank God. It wasn't after you in the first place. What kind of fool are you? That's what happens, okay? And the fact that we don't even know it, huh? We don't even know it. Because it would be okay if General Motors made us, if Sears and Roebuck made your brain, but it didn't come from them. It came from the same force that made every animal, every human being on the planet, in the universe. But that's what we go through, and that's why we're so messed up. And somewhere, one day, we're going to have to stop and ask ourselves, There was more debate over the word nigger than the yellow thing. And if most dark sisters could be invisible and hear some of the things the brothers be saying, hey, man, I want to meet this new girl, Mildred. She dark, but she fine. Oh, let's qualify that. Black men talk about the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I've never heard a black woman say that, huh? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, huh? But that's not for discussion, huh? When I was a little boy, man, did most of us hate being black. You call me nigger. You my friend, come on, man, we running late. You call me a black nigger, the fight was on wire, because when I look in the mirror, I could see the blackness, but I couldn't see the nigger. Okay? And now we're going to just float through this like this is ordinary? No. I used to hear my mom and her sister talk about, Mildred got some good hair. No, I couldn't say nothing to my mama because she was a real fool. But I could go say to my brothers and sisters, they think that the universal God makes good hair and bad hair. Huh? The hair was not made by Sears and Roebuck. Jump. Huh? And how a bunch of ignorant, low-life, slave-owning white folks. Huh? Curiosity killed what? You know how to end that? Okay, you know where that came from? The slave owner taught that to the slaves because they lived with you. They know how smart you were. And so when I was growing up, somebody said curiosity killed a cat. And I said, you know what brought him back? Satisfaction. Okay, that's a game. That's a game. But we don't know it because it happened in my house. Huh? In my house. One black woman called me up and asked me about the black young folks wearing their pants below their toes. Well, I can't comment on that. I've got 10 children. I've been married 50 years there. I've been married 56 years. Why you can't comment? Because when I drink whiskey for 25 years, I drink a fifth of scotch every day. Can I tell you how many times I drove home drunk? You know that's a felony to drive drunk. It's not a felony to drive with your pants below your drawers, huh? So you got to ask somebody else. I'm the criminal, huh? I just didn't get caught, okay? And so we can't be honest enough of that. I know who I am. I know wherever the folk go, there's a thing called heaven and hell. I won't be there, huh? I know that. thank God I am honest enough to look in the mirror and see the real me. Okay? Why? I have 10 children. And that didn't come from no rednecks or no professors at Harvard or Yale or Morehouse. Didn't come from St. Louis, didn't come from it. It came from the universal God. And that universal God never asked me, your child is on the way. Are you black or you white? Do you have straight hair or nappy hair? Can you read or can you write? Did you go to school? Never! Now let me tell you what that means. I got here just like Queen Elizabeth and the richest white people on the planet got here. I got here the way you got here. A male organ went into a female organ, and out of that male organ ejaculated 500 million sperms. Did you hear me? 500 million sperms. And that one ejaculation. And the one responsible for you, and the one responsible for me, and like the one responsible for Queen Elizabeth and the rich white folks. Got here the same way me and you did.
Same way, yeah.
One of the sperms got to that egg first. Not 500 million. I'm the result of one out of 500 million sperm. Tell me I am somebody. I know I am somebody, huh? It must be something wrong with you, white boy, that think I'm beneath you. Oh, on a social standpoint. But on that judgment day, if there's one, we judge by the same thing. And my judgment will be that universal God gave me the permission to make another God. And I never had an affair with my wife to create God's new life. I'm not talking about the rest. I'm talking about me. Huh? Me. Never. But yet, when I stop and think I never bought a car, I didn't check out the year, the make, the model, the down payment, the monthly notes. And when I look at me and realize I put more planning into owning a jive-ass car than creating God's new life, there got to be a punishment for that. And wherever that line is, I'm standing in it, okay?
I hear you, brother.
I go to Budapest in another month. My ticket I bought, round trip, first class, is $42,000. And then they take the tax money, huh? I'm on my way to a peace rally. We're going to pray and fast. But to get there, and they take the tax money and buy bombs and guns and drones and kill women and children and folks all over the world. And I'm not wild enough to know that I'm buying it. That is Dick Gregory, not Dick Gregory, some freedom fighter, some Dick Gregory that marched with King. No, I'm the murderer, too. Every time you go down the street and buy a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk, and they take the tax money. These vicious, thug criminals, you part of it, huh? Okay, so I know if somebody's raping a woman and I'm holding her and 3 other people holding her, we all have to go to trial. And when gone, how come they didn't have some charges against them? Because you're looking at me and the rest of us, you're looking at a criminal going to join the criminal. And the reason they think they can do it, because they don't know what they're guilty of. I do.
I got one last question, Brother Dick Gregory. Do you have any predictions for the 2016 presidential election?
It won't be none.
They got Jeb Bush out there.
I said it won't be none. You asked me a question, you hear what I'm saying? You asked me, right?
You got to elaborate on that, brother. You got to elaborate. That's a big statement right there.
Well, let me ask it a roundabout way. What portion of the United States Army, military, or Americans? You just have to figure it out. What's it? If you don't know, you don't know, but just take a guess. The United States military service, what portion of them do you think are Americans?
Not a lot, huh? I'm guessing you're going to say not a lot, huh?
Not a lot? No, it's not. Not to guess. Huh? Don't guess. No.
Let's say 50,
if you guess 50. With ignorance, then we mess up the show. I don't know. 75% is non-Americans because they know when the white folk come out in the street, white Americans wouldn't shoot them down like dogs. That's why they got. And how they get in here, they go all over the world and say, look here, you want to be an American citizen, you want a good job, then Georgia. That's what it's about. That's what's fixing to come. Now, one of the things, because I don't want to deal with the fears. You know, you see something. There's people with a good sense. They can smell something somebody else can. Dogs can smell dope. I can't, okay? But because I can't don't mean it's not there. So I don't want to deal with it other than say this here. Sometime this week, you Google, there's over 100 major police departments in America that can't buy guns. There's a gun, bullets. There's a bullet shortage. You aware of that?
No.
And then after that, Google, you know, what year did Homeland Security buy $1.5 billion worth of bullets? That's why it's a shortage. They're getting ready for it now.